तार हैं वो ऊपर नहीं है। दिल्ली मेट्रो आपने देखा होगा जो तार आपको ऊपर दिखाई देते होंगे, लेकिन कानपुर मेट्रो में ऐसा नहीं है। इसके साथ साथ ही इस स्टेशन में जितनी भी लिफ्टें प्रयोग की गई हैं उन लिफ्टों में भी इसी तकनीक का प्रयोग किया गया है कि जब भी लिफ्ट ऑपरेट होगी, जब भी लिफ्ट चलेगी तो उससे जो एनर्जी निकलेगी उस एनर्जी का जो प्रयोग है वो दोबारा से कर सकते हैं और करीब 35 से 45% के करीब जो बिजली है उसको आप बचा सकते हैं। यानी कि अगर आपने 1000 यूनिट बिजली खर्च की तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि 450 यूनिट आप बिजली सेव कर सकते हैं और उसका इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। और इस समय अगर आप देखें प्रधानमंत्री कानपुर मेट्रो के अंदर पहुंचे हैं और ये कानपुर वासियों के लिए कह सकते हैं कि एक बड़ा दिन है और प्रधानमंत्री खुद इसमें सफर करेंगे, मेट्रो में सफर।
All right, so those are the updates that are coming from Kanpur, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who had announced that the first phase of the inauguration that is being done by the BJP there, and also accompanied by UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath himself, and the Prime Minister has just concluded the IIT Kanpur convocation ceremony, and this is a project that will benefit over 40 lakh people, and the state aims to run the metro in at least maximum 9 cities. So this is a gift, Abhishek, that has been given to the citizens of Kanpur there with the inauguration of this metro rail project. Abhishek.
Well, we have seen the Prime Minister inaugurating multiple infrastructure projects in Uttar Pradesh, and this also happens to be another one. And remember, UP is heading into elections, and obviously then you would see these projects being inaugurated, be it in Allahabad, be it in Varanasi. We saw Prime Minister actually making 2 visits to Varanasi this month, one in Allahabad, another one in East Uttar Pradesh, another one inaugurating or laying foundations of the Ganga Expressway, in fact, at Shahjahanpur. He has travelled to Jhansi earlier for the defence corridor, before that to Aligarh, and one visit to Meerut. So I think this is in line with the Prime Minister's double-engine push to Uttar Pradesh. We can see in every event the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, also being there. And I think, apart from that, of course, the fact that projects that had been stuck for decades are now seeing light of day and fruition with thousands of crores of money that was sunk, kind of getting extracted. In many ways, this is also a reflection on the resolve of the government to make sure that infrastructure projects get a push. So it's a win-win situation, one would say, where infrastructure is getting a fillip. And obviously, if UP is heading into poll season and we are very close to the election commission announcing the election dates, I think you would see more of these foundation-laying projects and inaugurations. In this case, of course, Kanpur, a city which was at some point in time in history was known as, in recent history was known as Manchester of the East for its textile, for being a textile hub. Now, looking at resuscitation with no new industries having come up. So obviously with these kind of infrastructure projects, the overall urban space gets a development fillip. So I think Prime Minister there underscoring the double engine politics by his presence there, along with UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, when UP is going into poll, Samita. All right, so we are seeing Prime Minister there, along with UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, and inaugurating the Kanpur metro, and he's taking a ride in it, and in a way, there would be politics seen in Prime Minister serenading Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh as UP heads into elections. And Prime Minister had tweeted that he's going to be in Kanpur and inaugurate the Kanpur Metro and some other projects. Also, he would be speaking at the convocation. He was speaking earlier at the convocation of IIT Kanpur, where he said that, where he addressed the youth, and then he said that, I think addressing the youth, said that a fear of unknown nahi hai, puri duniya ko explore karne ka hausla hai. He was sort of encouraging those passing out from IIT Kanpur to dream big. He also said that Kanpur is one of the few cities in India which is diverse, and 1930s he was recalling how Kanpur lived its golden phase and now has fallen off the development map, and possibly with these kind of projects coming in, Kanpur would perhaps spring back to its old success. So I think Prime Minister there, having addressed the IIT Kanpur during its convocation, and now inaugurating this Kanpur Metro Rail project. Remember, under the present government, there are 3 cities that have got new metros, including Kanpur and Agra. Prime Minister had in fact laid foundation of a metro project in Agra a couple of months back, and then since then he has been inaugurating many development projects across the cities, and underscoring the fact that if both the center and the state work in the same direction, the state progresses faster and the people benefit more, underscoring the politics part of it. So obviously, as the most populous state of the country heads into election mode, Prime Minister there underscoring the development fillip that has come to UP in the last 5 years since the BJP has been in power. So there would obviously be political aspect to it. But then the fact is that projects like these do create development space for cities that have been struggling. This kind of civic infrastructure is something which typically would have taken long years earlier, but has been given a boost. We saw how in the case of interlinking of rivers in Uttaranchal a few days back, a project that was stuck for almost 4 decades saw light of day because the government really persisted and made sure that all the bottlenecks and the difficulties that were there in terms of land acquisition, for example, are sorted, and the project put on fast track and completed. And that's when Prime Minister went there. So in the pictures, we continue to see Prime Minister taking a ride in Kanpur along with Union Minister Hardeep Puri, Urban Development Affairs Minister Hardeep Puri, and of course UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. We cannot forget that picture in Varanasi when Prime Minister was there to inaugurate the Kashi Vishwanath Temple corridor, when he shepherded and he was sort of counseling UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath at the Varanasi guest house where he was put up, the BLW guest house, and the pictures really sent across a political message in terms of Prime Minister's hand firmly behind the back of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who can also be seen now in the pictures along with the Urban Development Minister Hardeep Singh Puri also. I think they are having a conversation about the project, and I think for the people of Kanpur, this must be a picture to sort of keep in their mind for quite some time. It does not happen very often that for a middling city like Kanpur, you would have Prime Minister traveling in their metro train while inaugurating it, and that's why I think this should be seen also as part of Prime Minister's outreach and Prime Minister's political communication by way of pictures, one would say, where he's actually talking to the constituents in Kanpur and saying that, see, I'm there in your city inaugurating a development project, spick and span, something which was still just a few years ago was limited only to Delhi and the capital territory of India, is now available to small town India as well. And that in itself underscores the development push that has been given by the Modi government at the center, and of course because there is a BJP government at the state level. Also, the two can say that coming together of the center and the state can, if they work in the same direction, if they look in the same direction, if they're ideologically inclined, what the Prime Minister calls a double engine government, then obviously things move faster. Prime Minister there getting down at the destination, and earlier he was addressing youth at the Kanpur IIT, and now he's inspecting the metro station. The Geetanagar metro station in Kanpur. This is phase 1 of the project. I believe Prime Minister there in front of the cameras, getting out of the metro station. He has a metro card with himself. I mean, for the people of Kanpur, this picture would be as much about political communication as about this civic infrastructure, because in every frame that we can see, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is with the Prime Minister and has been having animated conversation. As I was mentioning earlier, in every project that has been inaugurated over the last month, Prime Minister has made sure that the Chief Minister is there with him and has given him ample credit. In fact, on an average, it's not less than 5 or 6 times that the Prime Minister mentions the name of Yogi Adityanath as a Karma Yogi Chief Minister, as someone who's a doer, who carries out, executes projects and brings them to fruition. So I think there is a political messaging there that Yogi Adityanath is going to lead the party into the elections and beyond. And that is something which is important in the context of this visit to Kanpur and inauguration of these projects.
That's right. And Abhishek, the Prime Minister has always spoken about improving urban mobility, and that has been one of the key focus areas for the Prime Minister as well. And this inauguration of the completed section of the Kanpur Metro Rail project is yet another step in that direction. This has been completed in a record 2 years of time. This is a 9-kilometer long section that starts from IIT Kanpur to Moti Jheel, and the Prime Minister is now just a short while back inspecting this entire trip in Kanpur Metro Rail project and undertaken this metro ride from IIT metro station to Geetanagar. This entire length of this metro rail project in Kanpur is about 32 kilometers and is being built at the cost of over 11,000 crore rupees. Certainly a big boost coming in for Kanpur, for the state of Uttar Pradesh as well.